Hey everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Spirit and Mom Talk with Natalie and Danae. We are so happy to see you guys. So happy to be here. So final episode is so kind of bittersweet. I don't know how to feel.
I'm sad. I'm sad a little bit. But you guys, don't be sad. Don't be sad like me because on Thursdays we are going to be going live on TikTok.
Mhm.
So you can follow us on TikTok at Spirited Mom Talk. And then when we go live, make sure you're following at Nally S and at Goddess Revival 3333. And you'll be able to join in the conversation there as well.
Yes, help us build Spirit and Mom Talk on TikTok. That way we can go live from that page. Uh, but, but, we do want to say we don't have a date yet as far as when we will come back. We're thinking sometime in possibly November, but we'll definitely let y'all know. And
Yeah.
we'll definitely put it on the platforms. I'll, definitely make a video, updating everybody on our return date. So, with that being said, Danae.
Absolutely not. I feel like you're about to say something crazy.
Yeah, I was. I was, but I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna behave. Um, what was it that I had it written down and I don't see my sticky notes anymore. But we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Danae, you got any announcements before we begin or anything like that?
Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe.
All that too. Do all that.
All of that. All
Do
of
all
that.
that.
Press the
All that.
notification bell so that you are notified when we are on or when new content is posted. Um, what else? That's really that's really it. I'm kind of going through. You guys have to forgive me. I'm going through a whole situation where my son's getting older, so he's smelling himself. I'm lucid dreaming, astral projecting, and then having to deal with a toddler who's also possibly going through the same. So I'm tired. I am sleepy, sleepy, sleepy. Um, but I'm not going to complain because I balanced my checkbook and I had this is serious. This is serious. I balanced my
Hey.
checkbook and I had written in a payment twice.
Mm.
So I had an extra like $160 come back to me. It was unexpected money. And it's so crazy because last night I did before going to bed, I did a meditation where I used the grab a void number for unexpected money to receive it. And then
Hmm.
the next day I received it. So I was like,
I love the G
okay.
codes. Those G codes. Ooh. Those G codes are dope. They be
They
dope. You
are.
gotta give them a shot. So give them a
They
shot.
are.
Drop that code below, by the way. Hey, drop.
I
He said,
will.
I like what he said. He said we need like a '60s theme song and an intro with us as cartoons. We're working on it. I'm not the best with Photoshop and Adobe, but I got a few skills, so I'm working on it. But you'll see next season.
Okay, I want to know why does he say the 60s though? Like, what is that?
Like,
What
like
about
good.
us is the 60s? Or is it
I am
because
a,
she has her scarf on?
I am a bit of a hippie, so
I personally appreciate the 70s a little bit more, but I'm partial. Oh, I'm giving you the grab a boy codes. Boy code.
but next season we're gonna it's gonna be a little bit more. I definitely wanted to do the cartoon thing just because I've always wanted to see myself as a cartoon, because I like cartoons. So I'm not afraid to admit that.
We could probably get that done. Like those people do those cartoonatures, cartoonic. What is it called? Cartoonatures.
Caricatures.
There you go.
Caric-
That word. They
yeah,
do that. They're all over Instagram. Hey, do you want? Da, da, da? We could probably get somebody to do it
yeah.
for the
To do a
low.
commission, I'll see if I can
Yeah,
commission everybody. Yeah. Oh, he said because the Spirited Mom name gives me the I Love Lucy vibes. And I don't know if that was the 60s or the year before the 90s. Oh my gosh. You were
I
born in the
Love
90s?
Lucy. Wasn't that in like the 40s and 50s? I mean, I love that show.
I do
I
too.
loved it. I actually really appreciated it when they finally got some money and moved up north to Connecticut. And then they had like better hijinks in that big ass house with the. Do you guys remember, off
Mhm.
topic, but do you remember when they had the ducks? And then the ducks, not the ducks, were the chickens. The chickens laid eggs. The light in the hen house went out. They had to bring the chicken eggs in the hen into the house to keep them
I,
warm. Did you ever see that?
I must
And
have missed that
then
episode.
they cracked all of the chicken eggs cracked, and the whole episode, the rest of the episode was Lucy chasing after these hens, running all around her house and like all hiding under the chairs. I love Lucy. She was
She was,
hilarious.
and
Hilarious.
it's so weird to see them smoking and pregnant on there. It's just like that's how old the show is when women were still smoking while pregnant before they knew it wasn't good. When men did not go in the delivery room, they had to wait out, in the area, or they just went home.
Right.
That's how long ago that was. It's weird to think about and watch.
I love it.
Oh man,
I love
off topic
Totally
already.
off
We
topic.
can't
Thanks,
can't we
Joe.
can't stay focused at all. But but we are going to go ahead and get started. Now, I do want to say for anybody that, is going to join or coming through that's going to watch this later, everybody's journey is different. Everybody starts different. Nobody's going to end the same. It's not going to look the same for everybody. What works for me is not going to work for you. What works for me isn't going to work for Danae sometimes. It just, this journey is about making it your own. Your spiritual journey is about you making it yours. Your routine, your ways, your rituals, the way you talk, your affirmations are going to be different. So do not take this video as a how-to or anything like that. This is just us sharing our experiences, hoping to help some people along the way. So if you have questions, ask, because we want to answer and we want to help by all means. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and get it going. We would play music, but Facebook's keep flagging us for copyright. So we got to be careful. Just putting that out there.
Backwards. Did you catch that? Did you see what that was? This backwards.
Yeah, those are.
That was all me. I'll claim it. I'll take it. Okay, so Nally, I want you to start first. I want you to share. Tell us about your spiritual journey. As much as you feel comfortable with sharing, you don't even have to share all of it, but just maybe like when it started or when you remember it starting and all of that.
Right. So I would say it started when I was a teenager, just because I would say this has been an inward thing for me for a very long time. And when I finally got freedom out of from under, my mom, who was very Christian, I had a bit of a chance to kind of explore what I wanted. And I moved to Georgia with my dad. So, I got time to spend with him and get to know him. And I got time to know myself. My dad did not restrict me. He was just like, I trust you. You're smart. You got a good head on your shoulders. Let me know when you're going out. Let me know when you come home. That whole thing. So, I took that as like, say less. I already had a boyfriend. I was already dating and getting to know me and what I liked. And yep. So, I walked into a Barnes and Nobles and saw a book, and it was like a big black book of spells. And I was just like, I want to touch it. I want to touch it. I want to pick it up. I want to read it. But I was too afraid. So I must have gone back and forth to that Barnes and Nobles so many times until I finally bought it. I hid it and I just started reading and reading and reading. And I had been on that journey ever since. Now, when I outwardly came out is when I officially stepped away from the witnesses, and that was in like 2018. Um, that's when I went to my last, well, I guess my last meeting, and I officially just left it all behind. I guess 2019 is when I officially resigned. And from there, it all began with unlearning everything I knew about what God was. So very first thing was stepping out of religion and understanding what God's source was, without Christianity, without anybody to tell me, without a Bible directly in front of me. It all had to start with me saying, you know what, I don't want to listen to anybody anymore. Tell me what kind of relationship with God looks like, because to me, everybody's perception of what God is just seems and felt wrong. God is jealous, God gets angry, God destroys, God looks to punish, God is this. And I'm like, how can God be love but be all these things that just, to me, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right to say that, God is going to take your child or take this and send you to hell, or let certain people go to heaven. And the injustices that I saw around me, it was just too much. And I'm just like, if there is a God, there it has to be way more complex, but way more simpler than what I've learned. And it wasn't until I spoke with someone who was actually, I'll call him, he's like my karmic partner. Somebody that ended up being a karmic partner also ended up being my spiritual guide for a while. He put me on a path and was just like, you got to step out of your head and just believe in yourself. Like, you got this. And I'm like, first of all, you broke my heart. You don't get to tell me anything about my heart and stuff like I would throw it up just to make it uncomfortable.
Okay, so can you clarify though when you say your guide? So is this like your guru or your teacher?
Yeah, he was like a guru.
Okay.
I called him, he was like my spiritual guru.
Okay.
And he was also a Cancer. So I took us a drunk a little bit. So, he ended up being my first guru, guided me along the way. He was encouraging, gave me a lot of literature and everything else, until I realized, you know what, I can't continue the journey with him. So I had to part ways a little last year. Like I think it was toward the end of October, where it's like, you know what, I can't. Don't change your sign. Don't change your sign. I love you. You can't change. But we kind of cut ties, and it's like, for the best, it's just best if we let let it go. Just let it go. So from there, it began me. From there until now, it's just been me understanding myself and cycles. And since 2018, it's been me picking up astrology, learning about angels, how they work with us, learning about spirits. And of course, first and foremost, after I began working with myself and understanding source, then I went to working with my ancestors and learning to work with them. Am I going to say that I'm experienced with it, that I feel like I completely know what I'm doing? Hell no. No, I don't. I am still learning and figuring this out along the way. Look, I will never stop ordering books. I will never stop reading. I'm a forever student, just like y'all. So 4 or 5 years later, here I am. I still feel like a student. I still feel like I'm at the beginning. I'm still learning so much. And I can't stop smiling about all the fascinating people that I've met. And don't get me started on meeting somebody like Danae or somebody else who's a weirdo and not afraid to say, you know what, I want to go look for Bigfoot. I want to go to these vortexes, these places where gravity is off. Yes, I do believe in extraterrestrials. And yes, I do feel like there's something to this meditation and everything else. So yeah, here we are. But
she's like, hey, I'm here.
I'm here now. Yes. So, Drunk, do you feel like your extensive religion background made you hungrier to find this side of spirituality? Yes, absolutely. And that's my biggest thing, Bermuda Triangle's on my mine too. Oh, I just want to fly through just to see if I'll get sick. You don't want to fly through the Bermuda Triangle?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because you guys, it, you will literally be flying and then you'll end up in a different dimension,
Yeah.
right? And then
How's it?
you will not come back. It's similar to the things that happen on Lake Superior with those boats. Like all of a sudden they're there and then they're gone, right? Or because of some weird gravitational electrical whatever disturbance, now your plane or your ship has sank to the bottom of the what is it, a lake or the ocean. So absolutely not. I'm cool.
Monsieur, Monsieur, you
I don't have to experience things to know that they are real. There's certain things that I don't have to experience, right? Like I don't need to experience a cobra bite to know that a cobra is deadly, you know. There's I'm just being honest.
no, I got
No.
you. I got you. And my thing is, you know what? I'm not one of those people like I don't want to be the grass is always green on the other side. But, if my babies are right there and we gone and we just go somewhere else, then
But there's no
I'm
telling that even your children will go with you. You all could be separated in a different onto a different timeline. Like you have to think about that. Like there are different lines going vortices going through all these different places. And just because you're on the plane with your kids, like two of your kids might end up going someplace else. Or
yeah,
your baby might go someplace all by himself and not know
Danae,
anybody.
Danae,
I'm
you're
just
only
telling
making
you.
it sexier. You're only making it sexier. Keep talking. You're only making it sexier.
No,
Just
absolutely not. I'm cool. I'm cool. Um when it's time for me to go to a different dimension, it's just going to be the right time. I'm not going to purposely put myself in a situation where I may or may not come back. You know, like what? I'm not. He said if I drunk says if I end up in the ice age, I'm gonna be
I will
sick.
be.
And that's what's gonna happen. Watch, you'll end up in Antarctica
Tell me what you.
back in 1912, right? And you gotta figure it out.
Yo, you could jump somewhere awesome too. You could be chilling with in a club with that purple lady. Like,
You can end up on a whole nother planet outside of our solar system where you don't even understand their language, and they like to eat other beings that have five
why
fingers
you
on
gotta
each hand. I'm
what if
just
it's
telling y'all the
what if it's
truth.
according to your vibe? What if it's according to your vibe and your vibe is high and you just happen to vibe to a higher.
And you just go wherever you're vibing to. Well, then that's
Yeah.
different. That'd be cool. But then again, your kids still may not end up going with you, right?
Again, you only
If
making it
it's
sex.
based off of your vibe and your vibe is what based off of your consciousness essentially. Like what if I don't know. And it's not even that like I just heard ahead of my advice. You're only saying that because you're scared. No, it's not because I'm scared. It's not because I'm scared. It's because I don't want to. Like let me just figure this shit out first before I have to figure out what's going on in another planet or dimension. Dimension. Like, let me get it together here, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Sheesh.
So yes,
Sheesh.
but to answer the biggest question, yes, I do feel like that restriction, that control, it definitely made me hungry to find what a connection with source with me within me with my higher self. It made me hungry to find all of that. And I'll have those moments where I'm like, if I was to ever turn around, and it's just like I can never see myself like going back that way. Like it's walled up. There is no way going back that way. So, oh, he said except Antarctica. True, you gonna get locked up. You're in Antarctica. they got that place guarded. I don't think we're gonna get far. But if you down to give it a shot, I'm with you. We'll call Danae from our new, we're in a new plane. We're probably with better fruit and vegetables.
Don't call me.
I'm gonna call you.
My phone stays on do not disturb. The only reason the only reason that I'm just saying, most of the time my phone is on do not disturb, do not call me. Text me first. I'll let you know.
We'll send you a video. Send you a video. I'll make a TikTok and send it to you. Or Glip Glorp or wherever it's called on the other side. Call Danae from Earth 6.
I can't. Now that song is in my head.
What song?
8675309. I can't.
I'm gonna start crying. Oh my god! Okay, I got it together. But yeah, so that's the short version of my spiritual journey, and it gets a lot twistier and everything else. But yeah, my ex or comic partner ended up being my first spiritual teacher. So that was, it was weird how all that came back full circle. So it is what it is. Yeah. And then my next teacher, who, unquote unquote, would have been my husband, well, ex-husband now. So
she's just gonna leave us. She's just gonna leave us right there. It's not even gonna tell us a
leave
story.
you there because that's all. Like I said, that's a whole story for next season. That story is not free. I'm sorry, that is a story that I will not tell for free at all. Because y'all,
that's interesting.
It involves me finding people's family, long lost family members, long lost moms, reunited with grandparents, ups and downs. This person is that person's child. This person's in. Look, it got twist, okay, and somehow I just found my way in the middle of it. So,
just like a whole lot of drama.
That story is not free. I would not tell that story for free.
I can dig it. Whew. I can dig it. I don't even remember the first time when I started this whole spiritual thing, right? Or even like when my first spiritual awakening was. I know it had to be around the time, like maybe I was in high school, maybe like 16. And that only started because I had an incident with, what are they called? What are the men called? What's the male form of a succubus? Is it a succubi?
I thought they were just.
Are they all succubus? Are they all called succubus, or is one a woman and one's a man? Anyway, I'll just say this the sex. No, I don't want to say that. Okay, so anyways, the incident happened where I had came home from track practice, and it was really it was warm that day, but there was a beautiful breeze. So I opened up the window, and it's so crazy because it was windy when I opened up the window. Then it got really, really calm, but I just kept the windows open anyway. Mm-hmm. And so I'm laying in the bed. I took my shower. I'm taking a nap. This was back in the day when I would still sleep in the nude. And all I remember is that I was taking a nap. I opened my eyes. The wind started blowing through the blinds, and then I couldn't move, and then it felt as if I was having intercourse. And it wasn't until I realized that I wasn't in a dream and I could actually open my eyes and see what was going on that I was like, oh, hell to the nah, right? Wow. At this time I was still a very devout Christian. So all I remember is screaming for Jesus, but I couldn't open there was no sound coming out of my mouth. So I'm screaming in my head. Mm-hmm. And then it just like, I screamed it so loud in my head that it scared me, and I could feel whatever it was like jump off of me and like go back out the window. So that was my first experience with like otherworldly things. And then that really just led me to reading about different entities. Like I literally went to the library. I remember I went that week to like the public library down the street and found a book specifically on those things. Okay, pause that thought, rewind. Because after it happened, I then saw like some type of movie or like unsolved mysteries episode where they were talking about it because I didn't know what it was. And then I went and got the book and read about it. And all these different stories were so similar to what I had. So, anyways, that kind of is the first time that I really remember something really happening. I know that when I was a kid, I had ideas or feelings that there were ghosts around me or like in the hallway or like the watchers and stuff like that. But having the spiritual awakenings, they happen so many times, right? To where I just questioned so many things, to where I didn't believe that being in Christianity was going to work for me because I had too many questions and I knew too much that if I stayed in Christianity, I wouldn't have been able to acknowledge it because I would have been seen as mentally ill. And it didn't help that I already had like depression, you know, like as a child, I had that. Looking back, I realized that I was probably going through a dark night of the soul and I was awakening and opening to different things spiritually beyond what I could see, you know, beyond the veil, really. And so I think once I started to have my own like spiritual rituals, you know, things that I did every day, my meditations, burning incense, having altars, you know, truly acknowledging and being my authentic self, then my spiritual journey really became a lot stronger. I became a lot confident in who I was or and even in what I believed. But it seems as though there's seasons that I go through and I'll have a new spiritual awakening or ascension. I like to call it ascensions now because I believe that I'm woke, and as I ascend, I'm just getting more knowledge and I'm getting stronger in my gifts as a whole. But it seems as though like there's always something new is happening. And as I get older, I'm really truly becoming one with my body. Well, I'm already one with my body, but I guess I'm actually understanding it and I'm listening to it and it's making more sense to me, right? Before I could just go and do whatever. Now I'm like, oh no, we can't go there because I don't feel right about it. I'm not as open as I used to be. So yeah, but there are some things that I did because I teach a class on spiritual awakening. And I have some notes. I was going through my notes and then I took down like my top 5 things that I would like to share with everyone for when they do begin their spiritual journey or when they have like a spiritual awakening. Is that okay? And this is just my opinion. These are things that worked for me, what I experienced, and what I believe to be true. If it resonates with you, you can take it with you. If it doesn't, then leave it right here. This isn't like, you know, anything set in stone. All right.
Exactly.
So it's like 4 or 5 things, and it's not in any specific order, but it's all about for when you're beginning your spiritual journey. Okay.
Mhm.
So, like, the first thing is, uh, drunk. I need Danae had teacher vibes. Yeah, I love teaching. I love learning stuff and then teaching everybody what I learned. My dad is actually a teacher, and he always thought that I would become one, either a teacher or a lawyer, because I like to talk a lot. But I really don't like to talk a lot. I just like to talk, like, in general. I like to talk a lot about things that I enjoy.
Mhm.
Anyways, so the first thing that I would suggest or let you know is that once you wake up and you start your spiritual journey, you can no longer go back to being stupid and blind. You can no longer cross back over that road because that path is no longer there. You have to allow yourself to grow. You have to allow yourself to be aware, right? Like, you can know, like, okay, you can play stupid and act like you don't know and just observe what's going on, right?
Mhm.
But you'll never be stupid again. And your awareness and your discernment, okay, will always tell you the truth about the people, places, and things that are in your life, okay? Um, a spiritual path, this is the next thing. A spiritual path is not filled with all love and light. It can be dark and lonely, and it can be filled with jealousy and hate. And it's not necessarily you that's being jealous or hateful or spiteful. It will be other people. It'll be your loved ones that are like um that are doing everything in their power to keep you down and not allowing you to grow the way that you need to so that you can get into your own life purpose. And they'll do whatever they can, and they'll be so jealous and hateful of you because you will never fail. That's something that I learned very quickly. All right, number 3, I want to say, okay, everybody loves a good chakra, right? But and everyone is always focused on the third eye chakra. But let me tell you the cold-hearted truth, right? Do not try to open your third eye chakra unless you have opened and balanced your lower chakras. So your root chakra, your sacral chakra, your solar plexus, your heart chakra, your throat chakra, and then your third eye chakra, and then your crown chakra. Let me tell you, if you open, and y'all get close, but come here, come here. Because if
Mhm.
you open your third eye chakra before anything else is balanced and open, right? You will potentially, possibly have spiritual psychosis or delusions. Why? Because you now can see a person's consciousness for what it really is. Like, you will really begin to see who they are. And if you have the gift of clairvoyance, you can even see the other, like, spirits that are around them. Okay. Now you have to be open and balanced in your root chakra so that you can stay grounded and that you do not lose your mind. You need to
Mhm.
stay you need to stay balanced in your sacral chakra so that you are able to use so that you are able to clearly hear and listen to your intuition so that you can discern over anything that you may see beyond the veil. Okay, your solar plexus, that's for your you do it,
Confidence.
Valley. You're confident.
Yeah.
But I'm speaking like you're channeling, right? If you find that you're able to channel and you're able to speak to spirit, your solar
Mhm.
plexus is what needs to be balanced there.
Yeah,
And
you
if
have
you
to make sure your solar plexus is aligned because that is what gives you it's what lets you know what you're doing. It's kind of, it's not, I would say it's your cement, your rock, your foundation, that's that grounding, that's your root, but it's more so, it's it's all, the solar plexus is all about your knowing, you know what, I got this, I know what I'm doing, I got myself, I have my confidence. It's you know you got it. It's,
Right.
I mean, all, like Danae said, all of them need to be in alignment before you begin starting to open your third eye and your crown. But like she's saying, you need to keep them all, you need to be in alignment before trying to force that open. Just please listen. Sorry.
It's all good. Right. So, um, solar plexus. Okay, so your heart, that's your love. Your throat, that's being able to speak clearly, confidently.
Mhm.
You have to be grounded in all of that. And then there's your third eye. Your third eye is for you being able to see beyond the veil, for you to be able to uh for me and who I am, my third eye is what I use for my like psychic mediumship. Okay.
Mhm.
And then there's your crown chakra, and that's really like just getting to nirvana, but there's more chakras over that. Anyways, I say all that to say, you during your spiritual journey, not only are you going to be able to see people for who they are, but you're also going to start seeing who you are, like who the
Mhm.
true you are. And some of y'all don't even realize how
I'm sorry, 1 second.
it's okay.
What are you singing?
And you guys will not even okay. Sorry, I got distracted. You're going to realize who you are, right? But you're also going to find out like how fucked up you are. I'm just being real. I'm just being totally 100% real with you. You could really see the trauma, right? And you'll begin to learn about how you respond to your trauma, right? And I'm going to share something with you that I honestly just realized this like maybe within the last 3 months. And it's that when I was like in my early 20s, I would and it's so disgusting and like sad at the same time. But I just realized that I would use sex magic in order to keep relationships going. Like even though I knew that they were failing and even though that I knew that they weren't right for me, but
Mhm.
I would use sex magic. And I didn't even know that it was sex magic. But once I did research on it and I was like, "Oh my god, I used to do that all the time." And you don't even have to like um necessarily use spells or incantations or anything, but if you I don't want to tell people how to do it, but because it's really not cool, right? It's a part of it is taking away someone's free will to just love you the way that they should naturally.
Mhm.
Anyways, but if you are able to really be in tune with how for me what I would do is I was really in tune with the person's heart and how it sounded and how it beated and what their blood sounded like going through their veins. Like I would do like I would like be on them and my ears were so still are really good that I would hear that going through their body. I should have been a doctor because I could have been a really good medical empath, but I say all that to say that's the things that you will learn about yourself. You'll learn the good stuff, you'll learn the really messed up stuff, but you have to be grounded in your chakras so that you don't lose your mind through all of it. Okay?
No.
And then bear with me, I only have like two more, okay? When you are in the beginning of your spiritual journey, and you can even do this now if it when you realize that you're going through some type of an ascension. You need to put yourself on a diet. And not only does that mean your food that you eat, but also what you drink. That means what you ingest, right? So, smoke, whatever, pop pills, whatever. If you do stuff like that, you need to be really careful. I'm not telling you to stop because I'm not a doctor, but I'm just letting you know. You need to be on a diet from the places that you go. Some places that you go to energetically is no longer going to work for you. Okay, that also includes going on a diet from the things that you watch on television and from the type of music that you listen to. You might need to go on a diet from that, and also who you spend your time with, and that includes your family, because not all people are going to spiritually resonate with you now. I know that I have some family members that after I went through certain what do you call it? Certain ascensions, like I couldn't be around them because they made my skin crawl. What is Drunk saying?
He says when he went through his Dark Night of Soul type thing, he did not like eating meat at all. That was me too. I still
Yeah,
don't. Like I have to have very select cuts of meat, and honestly, as much money as it is, I've had to start ordering kosher because I can't deal with meats anymore. Honestly, fruits, including fruits, because I can't just go to the grocery store and just get fruits anymore. It's just something I write about it. So I'm
I'm out with the fruit.
yeah, even with fruit
Oh
and
yeah,
vegetables, there are certain stores that
because
I
they're
will
not.
not go to get my fruit and vegetables. I won't. And it like I ate a grape the other day and it made me sick to my stomach. I was just like, okay, so
Yeah,
I can't eat certain type of foods. It's like your palate, your stomach, your body. I think those light codes get activated and just become so sensitive. And I think
yeah,
that's what happened with you, drunk. You had some things activating you, and while you were going through that dark night, your body was processing things a little differently. And I think that's honestly what happened with me too. Thank you for sharing that. And Danae, he was telling you that you gotta share those magic secrets because you gotta help him protect yourself.
but that okay. So protecting yourself is different
Easy.
from
Yeah.
you actually using it, right? And
Oh
also
yeah.
you have to remember that all magic is within the family. My magic isn't necessarily going to work for Nally or anybody else, right? Some
But
people
mhm.
Um, some people can just use their mind. Some people need to use incantation. Some people need to use herbs. Da 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 da. Nevertheless, but how can you protect yourself from having sex magic done on you? Okay, if if the person that you're having sex with, if they like to try to suck your breath out of your mouth, that's considered sex magic. If they uh how
I
do you,
got
I don't
one.
even know how to. Okay,
Yeah, I
go
got
ahead and
one.
say it because I'm trying to how to
Okay,
put mine
so
in words.
verbal magic. Men and women alike use this when you're asking a person whose is it? Does it belong to you? Is it mine? That's
Yeah.
verbal magic during your energy exchange. Certain type of some men will do certain things like one, you're pulling someone's hair.
Mm.
That's pulling hair, spanking, all those are forms of magic for women. On men, I will give away this one, that there are certain forms of oral givings that are technically, I mean, I can't say it. I guess
Yeah.
this is oral givings. Like their emotions, you just need to be careful of because I've even heard of women like taking their lipstick and drawing
A
a sigil
sigil.
next to, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
There's a lot of things that can be done, right? And it might not even be. The woman may not even know that it is that. You may not even know that it is that.
truck,
But
truck.
I saw that. I can't even read it.
I can't-
You just have to protect yourself from it.
Mhm.
It goes beyond it goes beyond like being physically drained. If afterwards you feel emotionally and spiritually drained, then that's when you know something has happened. Um, People can even use sex magic like to um, what is the word, like make things happen for them, right? Like
Manifest.
so, like yeah, there you go. Thank
Right,
you.
right, yeah,
Manifest.
you're supposed to
You
manifest.
can
Absolutely. It's the
you
funnest.
manifest. Yeah, but the thing is that um using the energy of someone to manifest things and you have not been given
Oh
permission to do
no, no,
so
no, 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 no,
is
no,
wrong,
no,
especially if you're doing it during
no. You,
your intimate, times. That's what
yeah.
I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I thought you meant like, oh, if the person is in agreement, it's like, yeah, okay, that is
Oh
fun.
no, when you're manifesting and you guys are doing your thing and you're at that point where you are able to do whatever it is that you guys say that you're going to do in order to manifest whatever it is that you want to manifest, and that's
Yeah,
great.
okay, but if you're using that person, that's bogus. You don't ever
Yeah,
ever do that.
that's considered vampirism, to
And that is
utilize their
so
energy.
disrespectful. Don't ever do that. If you are going to plan to manifest something, acknowledge it with that person. Trust me, I guarantee you, if you're trying to manifest something, having a partner included on there will make it. From personal experience, having a person included on there makes it way more effective than not telling them. That's so disrespectful and rude. Don't do that. Please don't do that. But go
Right.
on, Danae.
um that's really it that I can think of. Okay, so then the last two things when beginning your spiritual journey is that you need to build a relationship with your higher self first. I personally believe you do this before you even try to build a relationship with your ancestors, and that's only
Oh yeah,
because how can your ancestors tell you what you need or what you need to do if you don't even know who you are, right? If you don't know your highs and your lows, then they're not that they're not going to help you, but they'll be like, well, what what do you want? How do you want me to get it to you? How do you how do you need me to speak to you, right? If you don't know how you need folks to talk to you, then in a spiritual sense, right? So for
exactly.
example, like when my folks speak to me, I need them to show me like clear pictures of whatever it is, like literally, because they don't necessarily speak to me with words. They need to show me a clear picture or a symbol of what they're trying to say, or
Hmm.
let me feel that emotion. Only with my benevolent ancestors do I allow them to touch me,
Hmm.
so that I can feel what they're saying. Um, but nevertheless, you have to know yourself, know thyself, right?
No,
And
that's
then
so.
lastly, once you do awaken or once you begin your journey, please understand, even though you want to help people, it is not necessarily your job to save everybody. Everybody isn't where you are. Everybody doesn't understand it. Some folks are supposed to come back another lifetime so that they can learn another lesson, so that they can get to another spot. You may not have to. You guys may not be on the same train, as it were. So
Exactly.
just know that when people tell you that you're crazy, then that's your cue to know, well, hey, I can't talk to them about this. So I'm just going to let them be. I can't force them
Mhm.
to believe what I believe. I can't force them to understand that we are living in a matrix and this is just a video game or whatever it is
Or
that you
whatever.
believe, right? It's not your job to save everybody.
No.
And it's not going to
It
happen. Even with your children may have different beliefs as well. You just have to, and I hate to say it, agree to disagree, but still live your life, cohabitate together, or whatever it is, and just love as as much as you can. That's what I say.
I
That's
like how you say he's come to believe that everybody isn't capable of being awakened, and some people are just background characters.
yeah.
It's
N-
honestly, I've
NPCs.
NPCs. That's,
Mm-hmm.
at first I felt like it was a little. I hate, just I was about to say I hate saying it, but it feels like that because just like like sometimes I just sit back and look at people like, how can you be guys be falling for this? It's so obvious. And it's just like you will sit there and you watch people. It's just like, I guess some people just can't. And I'm not gonna rack my brain trying to figure out how. So it's just like, I'm like, I don't want to make it seem like I feel like I'm above somebody, or I'm ahead or anything else like that on the spectrum. I will say that some people are, I'm with him, just NPC team. Oh yeah, we are very much hip to the NPC term. Yes, absolutely. You are in the right place. You're definitely in the right place. And since Danae gave
He
her
must have
list,
thought he must have thought we
huh?
were chumps.
No, baby, we ain't afraid to say it over here. It is what it is. We come with it from love, but we come honest and real, but with facts. Facts. It's facts.
Mm.
So since she gave her little list, I have a three, because I know everybody's like, well, on your spiritual journey, what are, some things that,
Mm-hmm.
you may want to do. These are, really quickly. And I feel like these are things that, most people should be doing when they get started. One, develop develop a practice, develop a spiritual practice, a ritual for yourself. In the mornings are the best times to have some type of ritual when you get up, because that's the time when we're taking care of ourselves, our bodies, we're in the mirror, we're making sure we're okay for the day, so on and so forth. Have some type of ritual for yourself where you're being mindful, where you want to get your energy grounded for the day, set your intentions for the day, so on and stuff like that. And you know what? It doesn't have to take a long time. It's not something you got to spend an hour every morning doing. Look, we get it. You ain't got that kind of time. I'm a mom. I definitely don't have that kind of time. When my kids up, especially if they are before me, my spiritual routine has to be cut down to less than 4 or 5 minutes. And can you make it work? Absolutely. Can you give yourself more time? Yes. But as long as you're consistent with it, you will grow, you will build. And like Danae said, is before trying to work with ancestors, deities, anybody else, please develop yourself personally, spiritually first. You, like she said, you could cause yourself some very real harm. This is not something to play with. You have to learn. There is no quick way. There is no mixture. Trust me, I've been through this with people. There is no mixture. There is nothing that you were going to smoke. There is nothing that you were going to take. There is no code that you were going to read. There is no cheat code to this. This is a journey. This is a practice. This is a learning experience. You're gonna have to do the work. You're gonna have to do the work. If you don't, you will be just like these people on TikTok. Oh, the spiritual journey ain't real. These crystals ain't real. None of it's real. Oh, baby, it's real. You just didn't do the work. And I don't mean that to criticize anybody who it didn't work for. But you got to understand, if you don't do that work and you're trying to rush yourself up here, you're going to cause yourself some damage, and you're going to end up hurting yourself, and your journey is not going to go the way you think it is. So,
Yeah.
with that being said, the last thing, number three, Danae touched on it. When you're trying to open your third eye and your crown, just as you're trying to open it, you also need to understand you have to learn to close it as well, which is why you see a lot of us wearing our coverings and everything else to protect our crown chakra, our third eye. You need to learn to protect and close down your third eye and your crown chakra.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you will be getting download after download energy. You'll be picking up so much. It'll become so overwhelming. You'll be confusing the energies around your others with your own. You got to learn to shield and protect yourself before you start learning to do anything else. So, with that being said, I'll do a quick recap first. First. Please, please, please learn to develop a spiritual practice. It's important if for your spiritual development, for your personal development, and it will help you. Two, do not forget to, oh Lord, I forgot my own list. Like, just that quick, I was looking at your headscarf in the bun, and I started thinking about cinnamon rolls, and I just,
You said start a spiritual practice.
sorry,
You said start a spiritual practice. You said you said turn off your learn how to turn
that
off
was the
your
third.
third
Third
eye.
was Your third was to learn how to shut down and turn off your third eye and your crown chakra. The
Mm-hmm.
second one was yes, cinnamon roll. I thought of cinnamon roll. I'm sorry. I got
Those are
and
bomb.
your bun made me think of a cinnamon roll, and then I was thinking, you know what, cinnamon rolls sound good. And then
They
I saw
sound, they
something.
do.
I saw Cinnabon pop up in my head. My ancestors may want me to do something with some type of cinnamon rolls. I haven't made them in a long
Probably.
time. I do cook a lot for my ancestors. Oh yeah, that was another thing. Develop, develop a spiritual practice and develop your working with yourself before working with the deity or your ancestors. Develop that before working with something else, because like Danae said, it's dangerous to just start working in and jumping and trying to skip and hop and trying to jump into working with deities and your ancestors before you have completely healed and aligned yourself. The purpose of working with your ancestors is not for them to help give you things, it's for you to venerate them. Once you venerated them and you've done that work, that's when your ancestors can actually start to work with you. It's not just simple as putting a picture there and then, hey, I need money. Like, hold on, how you just gonna come to me and ask me for something? I don't even know you, So give your ancestors that bit of respect before asking and jumping in, telling them you need a job, a new house, a new car, and you want to fly to Antigua. Give them, you gotta build that relationship and understand what it is to venerate them, because it's not, when I say venerate, it's not the same for everybody. How you venerate your ancestors ain't going to be the same as mine or Danae's. That's why I'm not going to go too much into it. That's something you're going to have to develop, but I'll stop there
Mm-hmm.
because the cinnamon rolls got my mouth watering and I'm trying not to drool.
Now she's hungry. Now she's hungry.
I'm hungry. I guess I really can't smell it. That's what made me stop. And I'm like, I just lost my thought because I started smelling cinnamon rolls.
Mm.
Like
Maybe it's something else. If you can smell it.
I could smell it. That's what made me stop. Like, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I'm goofy.
It's okay. You're okay. Oh. Okay. So Drunk had said that he wanted to
Yes.
share with us something that we had taught him, and he says, "I was thinking about our combo about my dreams, and you guys talk about guides." Okay. So you think the purple lady was a guide? I don't know.
I still think that's so dope.
That he saw the purple lady. Purple lady.
And as you can see,
I honestly think that it was probably, I honestly think it was like his feminine.
a what?
It's a part of his feminine divine. His
I
divine
think so too.
femininity. And he
The
says,
most-
I come to realize that most of my dreams were always somebody either taking me somewhere or showing me something or teaching me something. Okay.
And when you wake up, how do you feel?
He feels good. What did that song Soul Glow just pop in my head? He says, and sometimes in my dreams I feel like I'm being babysitted, and I hate that term, but that's what it feels like. Okay. So are you
Do
a
you want
child?
to tell them, or do I?
I don't know. Like, are you a child? I don't know what it is. I don't know what's happening.
No, he's being protected. Like he feels somebody constantly watching over him. Let me ask you a question. Um, it
That's
feels
kind of
like even
scary.
in my house with a bunch of people, I feel like they're protecting me or watching me. Do you get animals come around you? Like just curious
Like
animals,
vultures.
hawks, crows,
Yeah, raven.
ravens, cardinals, just
Something.
something. Because
He
it's something.
might. You like?
I
You
think
think it might be like a grandmother figure?
it's possible, but I think he gets different people joining him, and I think that feeling is him being guided. I think he astral traveling. It sounds like he's being taken some places to be seeing things. Both, baby, in real life and in your dreams. Both.
It could be.
I'm sorry, this is just so dope. I can't get enough people me telling me about their dreams and the experiences. And it just makes me jealous because it's just like, why can't I see a UFO? Why why can't I
Because you
just
are the UFO. That's
I know,
why.
I know.
Aliens ain't gonna abduct their own folks. They're gonna teach the people that they're doing testing on. They're not doing testing on.
Yo, like, can I
I
think
see
cats
Kim.
a lot.
Oh, that's a good thing.
That's an amazing
Cats are very
thing.
protective. Cats
Cats are
are what do they call those? What do they call those? Protective
protectors of the
spirits or something.
spirits. Yeah, protector of the spirit realm.
Mm-hmm.
They stop certain spirits, keep certain entities away, things like that. Cats get a rap, but they are very, very protective.
They are.
We can't wait to hear him again, Drunk. We say you are more than invited to come up and speak. You know what? Like I said, email us, get with us. We would definitely love to hear it. Oh, I'm sorry. 1 second, Danae. Mute me.
Mm-hmm. Strong says dreams is what made me start venturing into what life really is. Oh yeah, because you can live a whole nother life in your dreams. I'm curious to know if you have lucid dreams or do you astral project? That's what I would like to know. Lately, I've been having lucid dreams. There was a time when I was astral projecting as if I was like going on to um like going into outer space and going into like different spacecrafts. And now I'm having dreams where I'm lucid dreaming. Maybe one day I'll join y'all. I like my secret identity. I have
Hey,
all of them. I have
I
all of
understand
them.
though. I definitely respect that boundary. I trust me. I get it. I get it. I get it.
I mean,
Um,
hell, we all have secret identities. You don't really know me, bro. Sorry.
he said, okay, so sometimes lucid, sometimes out of body experiences.
Yeah.
I think you're traveling. I think you have a guide with you that's just watching over you because, again, that's another reason why we will say, look, you got to learn how to protect and ground yourself and everything else before trying to astral travel and project and everything else because you will encounter some entities who are not happy to see you. And to be clear about some other things, there are entities that do not particularly care for humans, even if you just incarnated as one. So
Hmm.
gotta be careful. But it feels like I don't think you're being babysat. I think you're just being protected. I know that there are certain times when I will ask for protection, or if I plan on wanting to lose a dream, or if I plan on astral projecting, I will ask for a guide. You can ask for somebody to be there to guide you, especially if you're headed toward the Akashic records and everything else. Please ask for a guide if you're not comfortable doing it yourself. They will be more than
Absolutely.
happy to do it. So yeah, I have no control on my astral projections. Like I feel like some nights my spirit is literally called places, and you probably are. I would love to look at your birth chart. I bet you would start seeing. Oh,
Don't
look,
let her do it. Don't let her do it.
I'm not. I didn't say I want. I was going. I just
Don't let her do it.
don't. I
No.
just tell people don't
She
give me
gets
your
no,
birthday.
she gets so excited and so into it. And she's like, "Ah!" You're like, huh?
I
What'd you
do. So
say?
you give me your birthday, and I promise I'll be up in your chart all night long. I will know you. I will read you. I will own you. By the end of it, I'm sorry. Sorry, I got caught up.
No. I was about to say that too. Let me tell y'all, right? And I love Nally, but don't give people your birth
No,
chart
don't do
information
that. Don't do
because
that.
they can use it to manipulate you because now they know
Yes,
exactly how you operate. However, comma, I do suggest that as if you are a parent to to do this for your children
absolutely.
because then you can know how, you just know how to control them just a little bit better, right? Like you already know your kids because they came from you, but knowing their birth chart and understanding why they do what they do, especially during certain moon phases and things like that, will really be able to help you with
That girl, that was me
working with
last
them.
night. Yes, that was me last night because I kind of want to understand, where, what their struggle is, because everybody comes through with, that's something that they just have to, learn to overcome or deal with, or something else. And for me, looking at my son's charts, I was able to see each and every one. And when I read through it, I was just like, oh my God, that is them to a T. And it really, for my Leo, for him, he's a Leo sun, but a Libra ascendant. So he
Mm-hmm.
not only comes through proud, he come through pretty, and he's stubborn, and he's part me. And then, girl, it's just like when it said there, it said that, his struggle is going to be his identity, and how he comes forward, and his pride. I was just like, oh,
Mm.
okay, okay. But yes, by all means, definitely. And if you need a good resource, trusted one where you feel comfortable putting in your birth date, um, Astro Cafe is what I use, or Astrology Cafe. I'll look up the website and put it in the chat. So you can put, I would sometimes I ask people for their birth time depending on what type of astrology reading they're asking me to do. So if they're saying, can you tell me a little bit about my past life? Can you tell me a little bit about, what my struggles are? What do I need to learn? Where am I headed? What am I dealing with? Then I'll ask for your birth time if you're asking very, very specific questions. But if it's just a broad thing, like a general checkup, I just need the month and day of your birth, not even the year. But do not give your birth dates to anybody, no personal information to somebody that you do not trust. Like Danae said, including me. Like I just there's ways that a professional will come and get that information out of you, but don't volunteer it and don't give it away if you're not comfortable. Remember, you're always in control. So
Absolutely.
yeah. But yeah, in some cases, some people will ask for your birth time, but please be very careful about giving your birth time to people. That's I don't recommend sharing it at all unless you really, really know that person.
Yeah.
Just
That's something. Can I say this to kind
mhm.
of piggyback on what you're
Go
saying?
ahead. Yeah.
That really bothers me. You ever be on Facebook and folks be like, "When were you born?" Like, and then like 300 people are telling everybody when they were born. And I'm like, y'all have no idea. You are 2 seconds away from being hacked and all of your social security being taken. Like,
Baby, let me,
don't do
girl,
that. Like, y'all, scams are real. Scams are real and all of that.
let me be
So
clear about
cut it
something.
out.
It is so easy to get information, especially out of men. Like, and this is just somebody who used to work for a private investigator. Maybe the last name and your birth date, or a general idea of when you were born. That's all I need to
Mhm.
find you and run a background check on you and find your family and everybody else. And I'm not saying I do this to people, but if you're somebody that I'm going to bring into my circle around my family, my kids, yes, I'm going to run a background check on you. If you refuse, then that lets me know you don't need to be around me. But y'all got to stop giving out your birthdays. If
Mhm.
somebody asks you, I would give them the day before, the day after, or even the month before, month after. Once y'all get a little bit closer, a person would understand why you withhold certain information. Don't give your birth date
Yeah.
out to a woman you just met. No,
He said,
honestly, I wouldn't even give your sun sign out. It's too easy.
I mean, not necessarily. You could say you're a Leo. You could be born in July and be a Leo. I mean, it's so broad, right?
That's why I say, it's broad, but at the same time, I just know women that use that to manipulate some dudes. Like,
Oh,
although
yeah.
what's your sign, and then all of a sudden it becomes, oh well, I'm a Sagittarius. Oh well, Sagittarius is this and that. I know I can appeal to this part of him, that part of him. I know I can trigger this part of him to get that kind of reaction.
Right.
Yes, I have seen women do that. Baby. And I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to say that men are easy, but I'm saying y'all. I've noticed that some of y'all give y'all information out way too easy. Not saying that women don't get played, but a pretty smile on somebody batting y'all eyes and you're like, I'm a Taurus. Stop it.
You sound like the cowardly lion in Wizard of Oz.
I'm not trying to be, and that's not me saying men are dumb or ignorant or stupid. Women are also need to
It
take
happens
better
to everyone.
accountability. It happens to
Yeah,
everybody.
it happens to everyone. Sometimes people catch you off guard too, and you just be like, and not even think about it.
Mm-hmm.
But when people ask me like what I am, I tell them like I'm a Leo. I'm also INFJ. So, but if they know what an INFJ means, then we could probably roll. But if they don't, then I just be like,
Like, what's
okay,
that?
yeah.
Oh, it's a no.
I always just be like, it means that I can read your mind. That's what I tell them. It means I can read your mind, and they're like,
He's like, it's oh, drunk. He's like, all right, it's easy to get out of man thing, but you're totally right. This is basically spiritual warfare. Yes, yes, it is, sweetie.
yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Welcome.
Like then they said, this is not all love and light.
It's not.
He doesn't.
There's a whole situation. Like even and this is totally off topic, but on topic.
Good.
But you know how like they use they can control the weather. This is what I believe, and I'm a conspiracy theorist, a conspiracy
Right.
buff. That they are that the the powers that be are able to control the weather. Those that stuff that comes out of the airplanes, and it makes clouds, right?
Yep.
And I know, and I honestly believe in my heart, now when they have all those clouds out, it's to cover what's going on in the sky so that we cannot see what's happening. Because sometimes, like you ever see, and now with TikTok, you can see everything that's going on everywhere. But there'll be these random rainstorms, lightning showers, or rainstorms and lightning and thunder in these places, and it'll be so centralized. But it's like it's covering, but the clouds are like covering something that looks like a huge spaceship or whatever the case may be. I say all that to say everything is spiritual warfare. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean that it's not happening. It literally could be happening right next to you and you don't even know. You just think that there's a breeze somewhere.
Oh,
So
absolutely, absolutely. And Drunk was like, oh
yeah,
yeah, the
chemtrails.
conspiracy part. Yes, 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 absolutely. Chemtrails. We see they are definitely making clouds. It makes to me they've been doing a lot longer than they admitted it because I would seriously look up at the sky. I'm like, oh look at these clouds, and then the next minute they just gone. Like
Mm-hmm.
clouds don't do that.
Or
You can
or
tell.
even like when they do the chemtrails. Thank you, Drunk, for reminding me of the name. But when they do the chemtrails, right? And then the next day the whole sky is covered and you can't even see the sun. It's gray as hell. It's crazy. And you're
And
like,
do
well,
you
where did this
notice that
happen?
some of those chemtrails are in the shape of stars and everything else,
Oh, like when they're going back and forth across the.
and they form a whole
Mm-hmm.
a star over certain areas. Like some tell me that ain't you telling me so they just so happen to want to make a star in the sky with a certain area with a chemtrail. Like
Right.
you telling me that that's the alchemical symbol using okay.
They do it. They do it.
Don't get me started. This is a whole world. We will be up on here for another hour talking, but
Child.
we've been at it for a good bit of time, and my kiddos are getting restless. Book of Enoch described it being a real weather machine in heaven. Don't get me started on the Book of Enoch, because then you're gonna send me down the Book of Jasher. We could talk. Me and you could talk. We could talk. We could talk. All of us, we could talk. We're gonna have to definitely have a conspiracy episode with books and everything else, because I'm gonna dig out the Necronomicon, all of it. Because yo, you got the right people. Like I'm excited.
She did. She's like, ah!
The Book of Enoch,
Yes!
the Book of Enoch, like for real. Yes, we okay. You know what? We have to make a special conspiracy episode. Yes, but that is our time. Danae, do you have anything else before we wrap up our final episode of the season?
I do. I have a new affirmation that I wanted to share.
Go
Okay.
for it.
And it is let my let my annual income be my monthly income. And you repeat it 3 times. So let my annual income be my monthly income. Let my annual income be my monthly income. Let my annual income be my monthly income. and then you say, for the greater good, for the greater good of all people involved. And then that's it. That is my new affirmation slash mantra because I need it. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe and follow. Hit that notification bell right there in the corner so that you are notified of all new content and when we go live. Thank you.
Yes, Drunk, this is our finale. We are going to take a break. We are looking at sometime in November as our restart date. Not completely sure yet, but we definitely going to take the month of October off. It is my birthday next month, but we are still going to be going live on TikTok on Thursdays. So if you want to come over there and join us, definitely let us know who you are. Send us friend me, send me a message this is Drunk. And you know what? I'll make sure your identity is hidden. I know how to keep a secret. Again, my Mercury's in Scorpio. I know how not to say shit. So if you want to join us over there, but we will miss y'all. We love you. And a little tip, something that I found out that worked for me recently, find the biggest tree that is near your house. Ask this tree to help keep you rooted and grounded and stable. And I promise you'll see a little bit of a change in your home. But make sure you bond with the tree first. You got me by then drunk. No, don't say that.
He's so crazy.
Again, you can find us.
Follow us on TikTok.
Come find us on TikTok. We'll be there for you. We got you. We love you. Send us an email. Yeah. Everybody, thank you for this season. It's been amazing. The support, the love, the likes. We'll see y'all in November. Just sending y'all love. Bye. Peace.